Magik is one of the most complex characters in Marvel Rivals. Magik has so many different combos and different kinds of tech that you can use that really she could be the hardest character in Marvel Rivals to learn. So I thought, what would happen if I played 10 hours of Magik, and could I get good enough at her so that I can climb the ranks? Because Magik seems like one of the strongest characters in Marvel Rivals, but yet I seem to never see anyone play her in my games. Is it because she isn't fun to play, or is she not actually good, or is it just because she's too hard of a character to learn? Because in these tier lists that I'm seeing of Marvel Rivals characters, Magik almost always seems to be around a B tier character. And in ML7's tier list video, he said this about Magik.
Magik. Solid B tier. I've had some insane Magik players in my games, and oh my god, is she a pain in the ass to deal against if you're the one focused by her. She can one-shot to a lot of strategist ultimates, but you have to have a good understanding of her kit. You can't just like go, guys, I want to go Magik and pop off. No, you have to study the hero a bit. You have to analyze what you want to do. It's not like you go, hella, guys, I feel like today I'm aiming. You land headshots and then GG, you win.
So maybe in the right hands I can make Magik look like an A tier character, or I could just throw pretty much every game I play. But that's enough talking, let's get into these 10 hours of Magik, starting with some quick play. This game was honestly pretty good, I feel like. I was getting some good kills and not really dying much. My gameplay was definitely not feeling smooth whatsoever. But I mean, what do you expect? I just started playing this character for the first time. Oh damn. Nice, I got an achievement. This next game though went the exact opposite way. I died pretty much anytime I tried to do anything. I was missing a lot of my abilities. My ults were not good because I think I had like one kill after popping 4 ults in that game. But here's the main clips from that game. After those games, we reached hour 2. Now that we're on hour 2, we're going to go ahead and get into ranked. In my last video of 10 hours of Black Panther, I ended up in Diamond 3, but that changes to Silver 2 because of the rank reset that just happened. But a quick play, I feel like I was doing pretty decent in some of the games, but in the other games, I just get nothing done. So hopefully in these 10 hours, I can actually get it more consistently by the end. So let's go ahead and see how competitive goes. Sniped. In the first game of comp, our team was doing really well. We ended offense off, like almost getting the 3rd point fully pushed. And then of course, that round ends, and we have a lever and lost in like 3 minutes.
Well, you can't expect them all.
Getting to hour 3, that last hour, I only won 1 single game of ranked, and I'm still in silver, even though silver is somewhat plat diamond area because of the rank reset, but I also could just be trying to cope right now. So hopefully I start to do a little bit better because I feel like I was doing a decent job of actually getting damage on their weaker targets, but I was missing a good amount of abilities just to finish off the kill. And I was definitely getting a whole lot of my ults canceled. Okay, well I lost ult again. But hopefully in this next hour we can finally win some games and get out of silver. So in these 3 games here, I somehow didn't notice that my recording software just wasn't picking up my game audio. So it was really only picking up my microphone. But basically in the first game, I won and did pretty decent. Next game I got flamed since the very start because I was the last person to pick my character and we needed someone to go healer, but I went DPS, so the other DPS decided to switch to healer to help out the team. But instead, our tank started flaming me because I went DPS when I could have just gone healer. But basically, yeah, and then I just got flamed all game and we lost. And then in the third game, I went even, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, we still won, so basically I got full carried. But in these next games of Hour 3, I completely popped off to make up for the no audio games. Those last two games were definitely the best two games that I've played so far. We got a nice little rank up at the very end to end it off. I was definitely doing a good job of getting in on the healers, doing the one combo that I know from watching a Super TF video on him playing Magik, I think in a quick play game, where he used the portal ability, then spin into a dash, and then finally end it with one more primary fire, and that should kill. But because that's really the only thing that I know about Magik, and I had just gotten off the game to do something else, I decided I could watch some videos on how to play Magik before I get back on and get some tips to improve so that when I get back on, I could do it even better. So here are the 3 different videos that I'm watching. All of these videos are going to be linked in the description as well if you want to check them out after. Alright, after watching these videos, I've learned a couple important things that I haven't been doing yet. First, and probably the most important, is that if you melee right after you do a primary fire, you can get an animation cancel, which is important for like a lot of the combos I'm going to talk about later. Second thing is when you're ulting, you should always take some sort of cover or put the team more behind a tank so that you don't die when you pop it and get it canceled. Or you can also just dash into the air and then pop it while you're in the air. And then another important tip is that when you're using the dash ability, you can aim towards the right of someone's body and it will hit more often than going to the left because of like the third person view. And finally, I learned a couple different combos that I can use. The first one, which I had already kind of been doing, was do a portal ability, spin into a dash, then primary fire, and a melee animation cancel. But then you can finish with the slash ability for one final blow for the higher health targets. Next, you do a fully charged slash ability into a dash, then a primary fire into a melee. And then finally, a simple one is primary fire, melee, dash, primary fire, melee, and that should kill too. But now with those tips and combos I learned, let's get back into ranked. And let me tell you, I popped off in these couple games.
Another epic victory! Big win!
After those last 4 games where I popped off and won all 4 in a row, I got into the next game and this guy on my team started flaming me for banning Human Torch instead of what they wanted to ban. But basically here's the short clip of that, and yet we still won, so really what's the problem with that?
You're throwing.
We have 2 divers. Namor is active. That's stupid as fuck. Like, why would a Magik ban a fucking Human Torch over
Yeah, that's
Namor?
kind of why I wanted
Like,
to ban Namor, because we're going to dive. I probably can't play Spider-Man, but I'm just gonna see.
nah, she's fucking retarded, bro.
Another epic victory! Big win!
In those games, I was really popping off. I mean, I was dropping 30 bombs left and right, climbing up that ranked ladder. With that being said, we have passed the halfway mark with finishing hour 5, so I thought that I would go ahead and do a quick plug. If you could like and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me, and it's free to you, so it really helps me out, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, so I really appreciate it. With that being said, though, let's get into this next hour and see if I can continue to pop off and climb.
Another epic victory. Big win.
After those first couple of games to continue the win streak, we got our win streak ended in this next game.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
But in the game after that, in this game that you're about to see, is the exact reason why I banned Human Torch in all of my games. Because on their team they had a Human Torch and Iron Man, so really I just did nothing, and you can see how it went. Oh, what the hell? Nice.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Those 2 games there ended my 8-game winning streak, which is unfortunate, but I do need to lock back in because I've been struggling recently, and this is where I get flamed usually. But because that hour was so short, I only used a couple of things as well. I would like to do a quick plug to add some time to this hour and say that I streamed a lot of these games on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Chubakara, also linked in the description. And if you could also stop by and follow and say that you're from this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. But now it's time to win some more games and get back on that win streak. Instead though, this is how my games went.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
I'll take that trade.
Well, you can't expect to win them all. Willing to help? Feeling only 60 seconds left. Final score: 1-2-2. Well, you can't expect to win them all.
So yeah, that was rough. I lost every game of hour 7. Even that last game, I think I was like 24-10. Did pretty good, but still lost that game. But I think now that we've gone on that losing streak and it's out of the way, it has to be time for me to lock back in and start to climb back up the ranks. Bro, this thing does not die.
Only 60 seconds left. You belong to me. Go have fun. Almost there. Don't turn back now. Another epic victory. Big win.
In this next game I'm about to show you, I got target banned by the other team, which is wild to me. In gold lobbies, I'm getting targeted by the other team for a character I started playing like a few days ago. But yeah, so I just played group basically in this game, and we got completely rolled, so... Don't these players already know that they can't beat me in a Magic 1v1? I'm winning all of these 1v1s against these guys that even have Lords. In those last couple games, I was back to popping off. I was going crazy on those guys. And I have 1 more hour left. So let's see if I can rank up one more time. So I'm not going to show these first 2 games, but I will show you these last 2 games. But first I had this game where we got saved because they had a lever on the team. But basically we lost that first point in a 5v6. Nice. Take that. That's insane clutch though. We lost a 5v6 and the game canceled. That's awesome. I love that. Then after that game, we get into this next game that I felt like was one of the fastest games I've probably ever played. But now, for the final game of the 10 hours, I've got to really lock in so that I don't end on a loss and I can actually end it on a win this time.
Checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them. Only 60 seconds left. He stopped in their tracks. Double KO. That's 3. Double KO. Almost there. Don't turn back now. That's 3. Big victory. Big win.
Even though I didn't hit plat like I had hoped I did make it halfway through Gold 1, so I only need 2 more wins basically to rank up in one of those next videos that I make. But with that being said, it's time to talk about what I think of Magik. Honestly, I thought before playing this that she was going to be a pretty boring character and I wouldn't really have fun on her because I don't see her very often, so I assumed that was probably part of the reason. But after playing her, she's probably the most fun character I've ever played. And it's close between some other characters, but she's really a great and fun character to play. I'll definitely be playing Magik when I'm back on my main account playing some Marvel Rivals. Also, even though I wasn't able to hit plat, I still think that Magik is a very solid character. You can really dominate games if you put in the time to learn combos and practice them in games. But even though I actually enjoyed playing Magik, my next video or 2 will probably be different games, most likely Overwatch, because I just feel like Marvel Rivals is not making the right changes and it's just not as fun as it used to be. But that's besides the point, so thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out.